Oh, hello, 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 hello. Mhm. Okay, yeah. Um, okay. So today we are hopefully finishing Turnabout Legacy. I've only been playing it for way too long. Okay. We're playing the gay game for gay month today. Okay. All right. Okay. Think 127, 124, 127, 127. Okay, so let's go for 127. This one is 1149. No, wait. Shouldn't be 1. No, wait. What month was May? January, February, March, April, May. 5. So 519. 519. 519. This one was 23, 27, 22, 25. So it's... Wait, this one is 520. 520, 519, 519, 519, 520. It's the autofix, so it's this one. That was... I need to clear out my saves. Also, my god, the intro music is loud. Where did we leave off? Okay. We were accusing Judy in our heads. Or something. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, preface. I was just sick for the past week. I am feeling better. Significantly. But if I cough, it's because I was just sick. And that's that. All that's left now is to await the results of the test on the teapot. Fucking hell, I was 5 seconds away from it to be continued. Okay, April 2nd, Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room. The test results have just come in, sir. Traces of normalium were found in the teapot. They were? Just like Mr. Edgeworth said. Curse you! You better not think this means you beat me! You really need to drop the... You really need to drop this obsession with coming in first, Mr. the Best. We're all on the same side here, remember? We're trying to get to the truth. What? But first is best! Everybody knows it's better to be a winner than a loser. That's really no way for a prosecutor to think. Not a successful one, anyway. What? But I... Ooh. I love her gavel slamming animation. It might be my favorite. Because her gavel is just so pretty. She's just so pretty. And her music is incredible. Enough. Mr. Edgeworth, please refrain from taunting the boy. Ignore him, Sebastian. He isn't worthy of your attention. But, Gavel... Alright. Why don't I think... Excuse me. Why don't I take care of things here for now? In the meantime, you can perform the far more important task of going and checking on the victim. Oh, yeah. Good idea. I'll be right back. Excellent. We shall see you shortly, then. Mr. De Best is annoying, but totally harmless. Judge Gavel, on the other hand. Now. Miss Bound, perhaps you could explain why there were traces of normalium? Why traces of normalium were found in your teapot? I had no idea there was anything like that in there. Perhaps it is one of the ingredients in the dishwashing soap I use? So you are telling the court that you did not intentionally put normalium in the teapot? Yes, exactly. Why would I? Until today, I had no idea that it could even be used to make poison gas. Objection! You're a trained actress, are you not, Miss Bound? I'd have thought you would be a more convincing liar. What do you mean? You have access to the Ultimate Cookbook, correct? A book that just happens to contain instructions on how to create the poison gas used in the attack. Meaning it's perfectly possible for you to know exactly how to make it. You're very well informed, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Bound, is what Mr. Edgeworth said true? The book does contain information on how to make the poison gas, yes. But the fact that I had seen it doesn't make me guilty. Can I ask exactly how the gas was triggered? The victim used a blowtorch to heat the lid of one of the display cases, thereby melting the normalium. I see. But he locked himself in the room too, didn't he? Surely and the fact that he triggered it himself wouldn't it point to it being a suicide attempt? So she's not willing to admit anything. Furthermore, where would I have gotten hold of the insecticide ultra? Oh, I don't know. Perhaps you stole it? You know, I did bump into Moody Judy a week or so ago. And that very evening, I noticed my insecticide ultra had gone missing. Judy, surely you did it. Excuse me. Delicia, you carry your bag of pharmaceuticals with you everywhere, don't you? There would have been any number of opportunities for someone other than myself to steal it from you. That's true. And I don't have any hard evidence that it definitively was Miss Bound who stole it. Jude, there's clearly something you're not telling us. Why don't you just come clean, We all know you'd never hurt somebody for no reason, so... Not you too. You think I'm good as well, Mr. Fender? Can you blame me? We've got one wing disguised as another, a gas trap in one of the display cases. You're the proprietor of the establishment. It's looking a lot like you did it, kiddo. You think she's older than him? Wait. Dude, she's younger than you by 2 years. Do not call her kiddo. We've got this all wrong. You have to remember, the gallery doesn't have any security cameras, nor any security personnel. If some inattentive person or other wanted to get in undetected, I don't think they'd have much of a problem. Well, you're practically asking to be burglarized. You need to be more careful. A great thief could have a field day in here. And I don't think she's joking. And actually, it seems to me that Mr. Gusto did in fact enter the gallery before it opened. Sheesh. Julie's one tough cookie. She's not budging an inch. Maybe it's time to rock a little technique Gregory taught me back in the day. And what technique might that be? So, hear me out. Everything's connected to what happened 18 years back, yeah? And since we're not getting anywhere by focusing only on the here and now, maybe we ought to approach this from a different angle and look to the past for clues instead. A turnabout in thinking. So my father used this method as well. Alright. Let's run through... Oh, God. Alright. Let's run through the old think-a-tron. How was Jews involved in what happened back then? According to Miss Bound, it was because of her that Mr. Frost's flavored ice sculptures melted. And yet, his sculptures are here on display at this very gallery today. Is it possible that she... Thank you, Fender. I think I know what I need to ask Miss Bound now. Don't thank me. Thank your pops. Take it away, Misley. I'll grab the popcorn. Miss Bound, you say that you were the one who caused Mr. Frost's creations to melt 18 years ago, correct? I'm afraid so. I was so young and foolish, and it was a terrible accident. One moment, let me... I was blocking the screen a little bit. And yet, what you did allowed you to open the exhibit, no? What do you mean? Yes, what do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? If you are going to ask such questions, perhaps a formal testimony from Miss Bound might be best. Yes, perhaps it might. I'd like to know a little more about the Zodiac Hall, and why Miss Bound decided to dedicate the space to Mr. Frost's work. Very well. If you believe it to be relevant to the case, then I will allow it. Miss Bound, would you mind? Not at all. I'll do whatever it takes to prove that I am innocent. And please, if you could give us some background on Zodiac Hall and the pieces on display here. Okay. Zodiac Hall. It took 18 years, but at long last I was finally able to buy something's home back a little while ago. But a place like this is expensive to maintain, so I decided to turn it into an art gallery. To that end, I collected as many Bollywood pieces as I could from around the world. Because, if I'm honest, it's always been something of a dream of mine to open a space dedicated to his work. Thank you for your testimony, Miss Bound. How wonderful it is that you were able to fulfill your dream. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, everything seems entirely above board to me. One moment, I'm going to take a sip of water. My throat hurts. My advice to you is to never ever get sick. It's the worst. Judge Gabo, that was simply the witness's preliminary statement. As you surely know, The value of that testimony cannot be evaluated without due cross-examination. Spoken like a true attorney. Very well. You may do what you must. Okay. Rebuttal. It took 18 years, but at long last I was finally able to buy Samson's home back a little while ago. But a place like this is expensive to maintain, so I decided to turn it into an art gallery. To that end, I collected as many Paul Haquit pieces as I could from around the world. Because if I'm honest, it's always been something of a dream of mine to open a space dedicated to his work. Let's press, or what evidence do I have? Hold on. I-7, case incidents. Okay. So just matching. Sorry, I'm just remembering what evidence I all have. Okay, I'm gonna press this. Oh, not present. I'm gonna press this one. Paul Haquit. That was Mr. Frost's pseudonym, correct? Yes, he adopted it while he was working as a sculptor in France. I see. I'm curious about some of the pieces in your collection. More specifically, how you were able to acquire the Taurus and Gemini sculptures. It was my understanding that Mr. Frost died before he could complete them. Yes, I was able to recreate the replicas for the Winter Wing based on the photos of the sculptures he made. Oh, really? Perhaps you could go into some more detail on that. Because of, I was able to create replicas for the Winter Wing based on photos of the sculptures he had made. I feel like this is gonna be that, like, no, it's the same sugar. Or is it? I don't remember. Excuse me. Let's press, because it's a new thing. These photos you mentioned, you mean the ones you took yourself in Mr. Frost's room 18 years ago? Yes. You certainly know a lot about what happened back then, Mr. Edgeworth. So, the statues in the Winter Wing were just copies? And I didn't even get to see them before they melted! No, the sculptures in question were definitely not replicas. Which means that Miss Bound is lying. I know, it's such an awful shame. And after we went to the trouble to recreate them, too. The sculptures in the Winter Wing weren't just replicas. They're the very ones from 18 years ago. I need to show her that I'm aware of that, or I'll never get to the truth. Hey, there we go. I'm afraid you've run out of road, Miss Bound. You can lie all you like, but you can't deny the results of the test conducted on the sculpture's remains. And those tests leave no room for ambiguity. What you had on display weren't replicas. They were the very statues Mr. Frost carved 18 years ago. Oh, excuse me. Apologies. Oh, you really help explain how they worked it out if you'd like, dear. It's the sugar, you see. You might think sugar is sugar. You might think sugar, 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 but the composition is actually very unique. You could probably recreate the statues, but the sweet scent of their chemical makeup? No chance. Thank you, Miss Stone. I don't recall asking for help, but still. To put it simply, the statues didn't disappear back then because they melted. They disappeared because you spirited them away and kept them hidden for these 18 long years. What? She kept a pair of flavored ice sculptures around somewhere for all that time? It's not the most out there idea in the world, assuming you had a big enough icebox. Quiet, all of you. Miss Bound, have you anything to say in your defense? So, you've already learned that much. Should I take it to admit? Should I take it to mean you admit to having hidden the flavored ice sculptures in question? No, I admit no such thing. No. Oh, excuse me. Oh, apologies. You haven't proven that I was the one who took those statues away. And you won't, because it would have been impossible for me to do so in the first place. The police were already here when they disappeared. How could I have done it without them noticing? How indeed. I don't know yet exactly how you did it, but I'm far from ready to say that it was impossible for you to have stolen them away. You're a very persistent man, Mr. Jesus Christ. You're a very persistent man, aren't you, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, I am indeed. And I won't stop until I've gotten the truth. I see. And then I'd better tell you exactly what I did that day 18 years ago. Okay, let's see what she did. What I did that day. The whole time before the judging began, I was waiting upstairs in our living area on standby. During the judging, I had to go change the camera's film cartridge for... During the judging, I had to go change the camera's film cartridge for something. But before I could take the camera back to something, I discovered Mr. Frost's body. Later, around the time when your father arrived, I began to make rounds and serve tea to everybody present. That was when I saw Mr. Gusto entering Mr. Frost's room. And those were my movements on the day. On the day it all happened. I hardly see how you could take issue with any of that. That's for us to decide, Miss Bound. Are you saying there's a contradiction in her story, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm more focused on proving the fact that she did indeed steal the statues. The question is, when would she have had the opportunity to do so? Probably when she was changing the film? If I can pinpoint that, I might be able to prove exactly what she got up to. Okay, hold on. What do we have about the original statues melting? We have nothing except this. Okay, cool. The whole time before the judging began, I was waiting upstairs in our living area on standby. Can anyone prove that?
Hold it.
And what were you doing while you were waiting? Not the question I wanted to ask. I was in my room, practicing some dance routines. I was on a TV show called Bacon Bop with Simpson, you see. Bacon Bop? What kind of show was it? It was a children's show. The two of them would sing and dance as they made a variety of snoops. Whoa, that sounds awesome. Hold the phone, Miles. You used to watch it? My father introduced it to me. I may have watched an episode or two. So Miss Bound has the time before the judging began by practicing her dance routine. Was this the moment when Miss Brown stole the sculptures? No, I don't think so. That can't have been the moment she did it. I'd better listen carefully to what she says. Because I think that would be when Delicia took a bite of them. During the judging, I had to go change the film cartridge for Samson. Rebecca Samson. I think I'd have to be here.
Hold it!
Were you the only one who was able to move around freely during the judging? Well, I wouldn't say freely exactly, but I was able to move around more easily than the contestants, yes. Even so, I could hardly have spirited the sculptures away while Samson was standing right there, could I? And I ran off to change the film as soon as he asked me. Excuse me. I apparently misjudged how much better I was feeling. I didn't cough like all day. And then I start talking and it's suddenly back. I wanted to have time. So, changing the film in the camera as requested by Mr. Tangram. Was this the moment with Miss Bounce for the sculptures? I'm gonna press the other ones before I make a conclusive choice. Because it might be after she changed the film. Like, she might have stole the sculptures and then went and found Frost's body. I keep saying percent and not percent. Not percent. You entered the room containing Mr. Tangro's work before bringing the camera back to him, correct? Yes, I heard the sound of something collapsing. Something? Are you in here? The sound of the chocolate ship falling over after a certain someone took a bite out of one of the supports. And Mr. Tangro was still in Mr. Gustav's room when you found the body? We mostly, so we pressed Judy on what she was doing the day of the contest. And we accused her of having stole the ice statues instead of them melting, and now we're trying to pinpoint when she had the chance to steal them. Yes, I'm fairly sure that was the case. He was judging each room in order, and he liked to take his time. So, the point at which she discovered Mr. Frost's body. Was this the moment when Miss Bounce stole the sculpture? I'm gonna press the last one first. I'm gonna press the last one first, but I feel like that's the most likely one so far. Later on when your father arrived, I began to make rounds. Oh, wait. Wait, Judy serves tea on like this tea cart. She could have had the statue under it.
Hold it!
Just as you did today. Yes. I went around and offered everybody working on the investigation a cup of tea. Present company included. I remember it well. You were here, there, upstairs, downstairs, everywhere with that little cart of yours. Interesting. And did anything strike you as strange around that time? Oh yeah. Gregory was singing the praises of Judy's tea, and I think he mentioned that his saucer was cold. Okay, yeah, so he did It does seem like she did put them. The sculptures, so the sculpture that was in the contest years ago, I don't think it was in a case, but they're like cart-sized. Or maybe they were in a case. I don't remember. It's been months. But they're like cart-sized. I feel like you could put that on a cart. His saucer was cold. That was so funny to just have a flashback and zero dialogue, just an image. This was the moment, I feel like. Miss Bound, I believe this was when you stole the sculptures. I hate to contradict you, but the fountain room was full of witnesses at that point, Mr. Thunder included. Are you suggesting that I somehow got the sculptures out of Mr. Frost's room right under everybody's nose? That is precisely what I'm suggesting. Oh hey, we're back on the specific cart! Miss Bound stole those ice sculptures, and she did it by hiding them here. I mean, she obviously hid them in the snowman. That's the obvious place to hide a sculpture. No, it was in the cart. Before we do that, I'm gonna take a drink of water because my throat's hurting. Excuse me. I severely misjudged the state of my cough. I didn't cough all day, but suddenly I start talking and my cough is back. Okay, right here.
Take that!
My father and Mr. Fender had no idea that one of the sculptures was mere inches away from them. Because it wasn't just teeth. Because it wasn't just his teeth that you were pushing around, Miss Bound. That is the question. Because so they're big, and I'm assuming obviously they were frozen solid, and Mr. Frost's room was kept really cold so that they wouldn't melt while he was working on them, obviously. Feel like you would get quite a bit of meltage on like the arrow and the bull's horns and the lyre because they're so thin. But I think the actual bodies of the sculptures would probably last for at least long enough for her to push them from. Do we have a floor plan? Yeah, for her to push them from the winter wing to presumably either the upstairs like living quarters or like somewhere outside. Because it wasn't just a tea set you were pushing around, Miss Bound, but a hidden ice sculpture in a glass case.
Overruled.
Surely such a thing would have been impossible. How would a case that size fit on a serving cart? It would have been spotted immediately.
Objection!
Who said anything about a serving cart? Well, I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Edgeworth. What are you suggesting she used instead? I'm suggesting that Miss Bound used this to transport the sculpture. The lift cart. And this is... the cart that Miss Bound used to move the flavored ice sculptures out of Mr. Frost's room 18 years ago. And it would appear that it was the very same cart still here with us in the fountain room. Excuse me. I completely read that sentence wrong. I thought it said, well. I don't know where my brain's at today. Oh, we originally bought it for use in the contest. And you're saying that Miss Fallon loaded Mr. Frost's sculptures onto the cart and carried them off? I am. Hey, that is a cart-sized statue. That is the question of. Well, she hasn't even like if she's had Tangrove's mansion this whole time, I would say she just shoved them back in the Winter Wing. But no, she only recently was able to buy back the mansion. So like the question of where she kept them is certainly a question. As you can imagine. All one would need to do is lay a case on its side and add a tablecloth. See, I'm less worried about the statue melting and more about setting this case down wrong and the entire sculpture shattering. It I can't talk tonight. And it'd look exactly like a normal serving cart, thus allowing her to move the sculpture around freely. Can it be? Holy moly. Of course. That's why the saucers were so chilly. They were sitting on top of a big block of ice. Judes, how could you? Yeah, no, like I've dropped ice cubes from the tray to the table and they've broken in half. I cannot imagine dropping a statue like that and as heavy as it is and it not just shattering. You wouldn't just have 2 statues, you'd have like 50. Impressive. And then again, you are Mr. Gregory Edgeworth's son. I should have expected no less. There isn't a scrap of evidence that I stole the sculptures all those years ago. Now. And yet, I knew that no matter what I said or did, I'd always be under a cloud of suspicion. So you admit it. You admit that you stole them from Mr. Frost's room. Yes, I do. I took those sculptures and the glass cases out of that room 18 years ago. As Mr. Edgeworth correctly deduced, I dressed up the lift cart as a serving cart to do it. And slipped it out of Mr. Frost's room while I was going around serving tea to everybody. Yeah, no, you can I think I've taken the ice out of the ice tray before and it just breaks apart in my hand. Judy got so lucky moving these statues. In the end, I removed not only the sculptures, but the flavored ice zodiac blocks as well. Zodiac blocks. I feel like I've seen them for myself before. Yeah, no, I'm curious why she took them. There's a huge block of ice on display here. Okay, wait. There's a there's a huge block of ice here. It must be incredibly heavy, though maybe not what with it being hollow on the inside. Dude, if you touched this ice wrong, it's like if you put a hand on this ice, it's gonna shatter. If you look at it too hard, it's gonna shatter. How did she move it? And where did she keep it? Excuse me. It must be incredibly heavy. Though, maybe not. Or what with it being hollow on the inside. If the wing really is an exact replica of Mr. Frost's room from 18 years ago, then even though my father never saw them because they'd already melted, the Zodiac blocks must have been in the victim's room back then as well. When I had finished moving the two ice sculptures and the two Zodiac blocks out, I took two fresh empty cases to Mr. Frost's room and put them where the original two had been. Only the sculptures had been kept in glass cases, you see, to prevent them from being damaged. No, dude, those ice blocks, like, if you just like move too fastly in that room, they probably would have shattered. The blocks were not more robust. Girl, do not lie to us. The blocks were a little bit more robust, so they had been displayed as is. As stated in the contest rules, we were responsible for providing all display materials, including cases. Meaning it would have been easy for her to prepare those empty spares she swapped in. Mr. Frost's room contained quite a few other flavored ice works in progress. I figured if I melted them down, somehow the resulting puddle would look like it came from the sculptures. And that is how the sculptures from 18 years ago came to be within the Winterwing today. Where did you put them? I have to say, Mr. Edgeworth, that's quite the confession. Indeed. And I think she offered it so willingly because she knew there's nothing we can do with it. See, I want to agree that the ice could kick Von Karma's ass. But at the same time, that ice was so fragile, I think I could break. Dude, I could put my hand on that ice and it would just fall apart. So I think Von Karma might win that one, but like anything else he'd lose against, probably. That's all I have to tell you. However, despite everything I've shared, you can't judge me with anything now, can you? Excuse me. She melted like spare, like, I guess Frost was working on other sculptures at the same time in this place that's not his home. So she melted those. Or the more logical choice would have been to just have her melt other blocks of ice that he had been, like, planning to carve and, like, had extra of for more details and stuff. Von Karma versus Leaf, the Leaf wins. Okay. I mean, we could charge her for, like, tampering with a crime scene. Like, that's a charge. That's a crime. Stealing evidence is a crime, Judy. What? How'd you figure that? Oh my. Oh. But this is so fucking stupid. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. For anyone unaware, murders don't actually have a statute of limitations. Murder does not have a statute of limitations IRL. Because, you know, it's murder. You don't exactly want to close the lid on that one. If like, I love Ace Attorney, but this is completely bullshit. you don't want to exactly close the lid on the on murder, you know, in case you catch the murderer. Also, if there was a statute of limitations, it would not be 15 years. It would be like at least 50. Because again, it's murder. Oh my. I would have thought you might know at least this much, given we're at a crime scene. Statues for dummies! Aw, that book cover is so cute. I suggest you memorize the various statutes of limitations outlined in this book. The statutes of what? Statutes of Limitations book data jotted down in my organizer. No, don't make me argue statutes of limitations. Let me read this dumbass book. Theft, 7 years. Oh, it's one page. Theft, 7 years. Separate time frame applies regards to claims for damage, etc. Murder, 15 years. The date of the crime. Should the suspect flee to a foreign country? Oh, great. So it's going to be revealed that whoever committed this crime was in a different country. With any accomplices, indictments for the job. Yeah, like, I think it's because most of the other, like, legal suspensions of disbelief Ace Attorney pulls are, like, okay, I can understand that, but, like, in no world are they going to be like, well, it's been 15 years and we didn't catch that serial killer. Shucks. Oops. Too bad. Gotta close the book on this one. Simply put, Kay. Prosecutors only have a certain amount of time within which they can put a suspect on trial for a given crime. Let's take a closer look, shall we? No, I just opened it. Ugh. Okay. So it's different for every crime? Murder, 15 years. Theft, 7. Ah! Yes. Excuse me. Ace Attorney, but every character is sick for some reason. We all came to work incredibly sick today. Oh, great, arguing in circles with my wife for 10 minutes. Courtney, why do you have to be such an annoying character to play against in this game? I want to love you, but you're making it really hard to love you. Yes, Miss Bound stole the ice sculptures 18 years ago. So it's too late to have her arrested for that crime. I don't believe it. Theft is a serious matter, especially when it involves the removal of evidence from a crime scene. However, as you yourself just pointed out, Miss Bound, Miss Bound can no longer be prosecuted for her crime. I'm rendering your revelation rather pointless, wouldn't you say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Objection!
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Are you sure about that? For you see, the theft of the ice sculptures isn't my principal interest here. I find the body that reappeared 18 years after the theft to be of considerably more interest. Are you suggesting that I also hid Mr. Frost's body? I am indeed. But how do you keep a body hidden for 18 years without anybody finding it? You don't, Kay. Because regardless of where you put that body, even if it's in a freezer, it's gonna decay. By hiding it in a very unusual way. I'm so excited to see what bullshit they pull out here. Ooh, now this is interesting. Are you telling me that you know where the body has been for all this time, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, you hide 2 sculptures, a body, 2 hollow ice blocks. Oh, obviously you put the body in the hollow ice block. It's not such a big leap if you think about what Miss Bound has told us already. Let's just say it wasn't just flavored ice that she removed from Mr. Frost's room back then. Very well. If you are confident in this claim, let us put it to the test. Tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, where exactly was Mr. Frost's body hidden? Oh, God. Oh, it was in the Statute of Limitations book. This dark shade of blue, being around such a calming color from time to time just makes me feel good. It's also the right color for sneaking around in the dead of night. But I need something a lot bigger if I wanted to make a big flashy entrance. You can do both with this cloth, though, through the power of a button. Oh, yeah. In that case, I'll take 5. I was hoping we could unfurl it. I wanna see if there's corpse blood. Okay. Let's knock some of these off. It was not the blowtorch. It was not the IS-7 case incident. It was not the pamphlet. It's obviously not my badge. Was it hidden in? No, because the red is the Infecticide Ultra thing, right? It's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. I mean, unless we're going real dark and we're doing cannibalism. It's not that, it's not the teapot, it's not the cookbook, it's not the finger marks in the frame. Okay, so it's not this, so it's... Okay, here's where I'm at. It's either it was wrapped in the cloth, or it was in, like, a statue, but I'm concerned about presenting the Winterwing photo, and the game's gonna be like, that's not the statue! You have to present the Pisces statue sketch! Or you present the Pisces statue sketch, and it's like, no, we wanted the Winterwing photo! How are we leaning here? With the luminous cloth or the statues? Gifted to Bound by Scone lost 18 years ago, only to be rediscovered floating in the fountain. The fact that it was in the fountain with the body makes me think it was the luminous cloth, but I'm not sure. I don't know. How do you keep a body hidden for 18 years without anybody finding it? By hiding in a very unusual way. Oh, now this is interesting. Are you telling me that you know where the body has been for all this time, Mr. Edgeworth? It's not such a big leap if you think about what Miss Bound has told us already. Let's just say it wasn't just flavored ice that she removed from Mr. Frost's room back then. I think Oh, sketch your picture. I'm gonna try the picture. Nope, there's still music. A photograph of Mr. Frost's works. And of the victim's body, Your Honor. You will have to forgive me, but I don't see what you mean. Where exactly in the photograph is Mr. Frost's body? Oh, The victim's body is hiding right here. Oh. Okay, so my thought here is it's in this statue because this is the statue that was crying blood. I guess here? The Gemini sculpture? Yes, it may look like a sculpture at first glance. But in fact, it's Mr. Frost's corpse. Hey, I got it right. Or, surely you can't be serious. I don't see anything in this photograph to support such a wild claim. That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to hide the body in plain sight. And what piece of evidence might that be? The court demands that you present what was used to conceal the body. The luminous cloth. One of the cloths from the autumn wing? Yes. When it's made to glow in the dark in just the right way, it's so visually convincing that you might mistake it for ice. Isn't that right, Miss Scone? Well, yes, dearie. But you can make it look just about anything, really. Even blazing fire. And the right shade of blue would make it look like ice, yes. Exactly like it, in fact.
Overruled.
Is it not the case that a certain special device is needed to generate these colors? If you would care to take another look at this photograph of the winter wing. Oh, it is sitting right. Oh. Dude, if the reveal here is gonna be that Frost's corpse was just sitting here draped in a blanket for like the entire time, that's dark as fuck. That's one of the very light-emitting devices in question. Detective Gumshoe even confirmed its presence. In fact, this particular device went missing 18 years ago. Back then, it was no doubt firmly connected to the cloth inside the display case. Which means Miss Bound had no choice but to take it with her when she removed the sculpture. So you see, this cloth and that light-emitting device were being used to create the illusion that Mr. Frost's body was in fact a statue carved from ice. Holy shit. No. This can't be. Wait, so you're telling me that when we took that photo of us in the winter wing? Yeah, wait, I don't have that photo, do I? No, shit, that's dark as fuck. Yes, we were standing right in front of the body. But the body and the cloth were both removed from the fountain. Why were they found there and... Why were they found there if the body was supposed to be in the winter wing disguised as a sculpture? Dude, wait. Is that why, Gusto was trying to use the flamethrower to open the box? Because he's like, shit, I think I see a corpse in there. Oh my god. Dude, that's so dark. Miss Bound... Oh wait, I don't think I read that. Because there would have been no mystery as to how the body had been hidden if we had found it as his. Miss Bound needed to remove Mr. Frost from the winter wing in order to throw us off the scent.
Overruled.
Ridiculous. I don't recall her sneaking around behind our backs to throw a body in the fountain. No. And I'm sure she didn't need to. Because she had another method at her disposal. Oh. Her trusty lift cart. The same cart that had proven so useful in executing her original theft. I believe she wheeled the body into one of the other wings and floated it down the stream to the fountain. The frozen body, being quite solid, probably got stuck somewhere along the way, which is why only the cloth appeared at first. The cloth Miss Scone discovered. And then the body followed afterwards once it had thawed enough. Oh. Ooh. Is this the darkest disposal of a body Ace Attorney has done? Holy shit, because so AA1 has Larry's girlfriend who is just lying there, Mia who is just lying there, the evil magistrate or whatever in the third one who was also just lying there but had a spear through him. AA4 hit the body in the water. Rise to the Ashes. I mean, that one had Bruce Goodman's body being like taken all across town and stabbed again, which is pretty dark, but this might be like the most, oh god, Ace Attorney has gotten with where their bodies are placed. I still reject the fact that this body should be like 99% rot or just a skeleton. It's an ingenious theory, Mr. It's an ingenious theory, Mr. Edgeworth. But can you prove that it was me? It seems a little unfair to expect me to accept your accusations without proof, don't you think? What about an eyewitness? You think someone might have spotted her when she was moving the body? As a matter of fact, I do. And the contradiction in this piece of evidence I was provided will shed light on exactly how Miss Bound moved the body as well. Well, Mr. Evidence? Mr. Evidence. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any evidence to support your allegation? Of course. I have a piece of very compelling proof right here. Then please, present it to the court. What evidence do you have that proves Miss Bound acted as you claimed? Oh, God, Oh! It's the statue crying blood. Maybe. Wait, We're gonna go with this. Nope, okay. I think you'll find that this proves things beyond any shadow of doubt. Overruled. What are you doing, Kay? Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I thought it would be less painful coming from me. But anyways, it doesn't prove a thing about what Miss Bound did at all. She's right. I'm clearly barking up the wrong tree. Why not gather your thoughts and try again? Okay, what evidence do we have? Okay, not this, not this, not this. Is it the fact that Gusto was, like, trying to... Nope. I should probably just stop presenting stuff willy-nilly. Using actual thought might be good. Okay, so it's not this and it's not this. It's not the cloth. It's not the gas ingredients. Would not be the cookbook or the framed finger marks. It would not be the salt lamp. Not be the family photo. Would not be the teapot, right? Because there's not, like, blood somewhere on it. This probably wouldn't be the lift cart. Larry's sketch. I don't know. What proof do you have that Miss Bound acted as you claimed? Oh, I guess this one because the tablecloth is blue, not white. Alright. More drawings. And is that me? Yes. Mr. Butts drew sketches of the people as they passed through the fountain room. But what I'm interested in is the cart we can see here. Excuse me. Miss Bound's serving cart? You don't see it. She's using the same trick she used 18 years ago. Ergo, we know that Miss Bound was busy moving Mr. Frost's body when this picture was being drawn. What? If I may, I don't see Mr. Frost's body anywhere in that sketch. All I see is a picture of me delivering chocolates to everyone. Really? Then allow me to direct your attention to the color of the tablecloth, Miss Bound. I'd originally thought that Mr. Butts had made an error, but he assured me that that couldn't possibly be the case. This tablecloth appears to be light blue. Yes, a shade of tablecloth that Miss Bound doesn't seem to own. The cloth only appears to be light blue due to the body hiding just underneath. What? But the shape of the cart is perfectly rectangular, just as one would expect. Surely it would be immediately obvious if the tablecloth is being draped directly over the body.
Objection!
Not if it was in the case still. Or one of the hollow zodiac blocks, that's what I said. The hollow zodiac blocks that break up the second you pick them up. And not if the body had been placed inside one of the hollow zodiac blocks in the winter lane. Place one of those in the lift cart and it'd be easily pass it. Place one of those on the lift cart and it'd easily pass muster as a regular serving cart. Wouldn't you agree? Goddess of justice. Miss Bound. Surely now you must admit that it was you who moved the body, just as you did 18 years ago. I didn't expect you to deduce all that from a single simple sketch. But the sketch alone really isn't enough to prove your theory, is it? You needn't worry on that front. My case solely rests on Mr. Butt's artwork. Once you had disposed of the body, your serving cart became a simple lift cart once more, which is exactly what we discovered here in the fountain room, and it was wet. And without a serving cart, you had to find some place to put your chocolates. My chocolates? The ones I was handing out? As we found the sketch, you had originally placed them atop a cart. But the chocolates you gave us came from your pocket. Oh yeah, mine was half melted. It was still super sweet and tasty though. Why did you suddenly feel the need to put the chocolates in your pocket, Miss Bound? It was because you no longer had a serving cart to put them on. That's why. One moment, please. You have explained what Miss Bound did with the chocolates in the lift cart. But what about the tablecloth? Where did it go? Indeed. If stashing the chocolates in her pocket was the only solution she could think of, I doubt Miss Bound would have time to dispose of an entire tablecloth. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have an answer for me? Miss Bound didn't hide or dispose of the tablecloth, Your Honor. In fact, it's right here in front of us. Perhaps you would care to enlighten us? Where exactly is the tablecloth Miss Bound used to hide the body? In the fountain, not in this room, on Miss Bound's person. I really wish we had a picture of the fountain. What is... Oh, I wish we could see what Judy's apron looks like. Um... Hmm... I'm gonna say it's in the fountain. There's no doubt in my mind that it's in the fountain. And there's no doubt in my mind that if it were, we would have found it already, Mr. Edgeworth. Hate to say it, Maslow, but there's no doubt in my mind that you made a little boo-boo here. Please die. It would seem so. One moment, my cat opened my door. You know, thinking back to the first time I ever met Judes. Okay, see, I thought her apron had pockets. I thought her apron had pockets on it. I thought it had pockets and also frills. I didn't think it looked like a tablecloth. I remember her wrapping the tablecloth around her waist before getting down to work. Interesting. I think that might have proven to be a vital clue. Yeah, maybe. If the defense is done talking amongst themselves, perhaps we can finally enlighten this fort. Where exactly is the tablecloth Miss Bound used to hide the body? On Miss Bound's person. Miss Bound has the tablecloth on her person, and plain in view, in fact. In plain view? No. Surely you don't mean... Miss Bound. It's the tablecloth wrapped around your waist, isn't it? And given that the zodiac blocks weren't kept in glass cases, that cloth would have been in direct contact with the ice. All we would need to do is to confirm my theory is to test the cloth for traces of the sugar used in Mr. Frost's work. The game is up, Miss Bound. It is time to come clean. Excuse me. You won't need to test the tablecloth. Everything you said is true. I stole Delicia's insecticide ultra, and I moved Mr. Frost's body. It was me. It was all me. Delicia, I'm so sorry. Last week, I wanted to your bag, and I took it. And then, I put it in his pocket, hoping to make it look like he had tried to do himself in. I also made sure to leave no fingerprints but yours, just in case the police suspected foul play. Judy, you... Oh, gosh. But Jude's... Why? Were we supposed to be on the same side? While fighting together to free Samson? We were. But I couldn't afford to get arrested. Not yet. Kitty! Hold on. Not until I finally prove... until I'd finally proven Samson is innocent. I know it's easy to say no, but... I do it this way, so it's not like you. I'm sorry, Mr. Offender. I've caused you so much trouble. I've been the guilty party all along. Ever since that day 18 years ago. Are you trying to tell us that the true culprit in the IS-7 incident was you. I committed a terrible crime. I took those sculptures, and I stole them for purely selfish reasons. The moment Mr. Frost died, they became more than mere entries in a confectionery contest. They'd become the final works of Samson's favorite artist. I couldn't allow them to just melt away. Not before he came home. And that meant I couldn't let anybody near them. Not even the police. So I hid them. I knew it was wrong, but I just had to. I put them in the cold storage room for safekeeping, and no one looked in the cold storage room? No one? In 18 years, no one went, oh hey, what's in here? Oh, there's the missing sculptures! But what I had actually done was far worse than anything I could have possibly imagined. Because who would have thought that Mr. Frost's body itself was posing as one of the sculptures? So she didn't know about the body when she stole the sculptures. Samson is a kind man, a saint. He could never kill anybody, never. And yet, because of what I did, the police never found Mr. Frost's body, and Samson was found guilty. After all he'd done for me, he was my family, the only family I ever had. He was the most important person in the entire world to me, and Jude's. After his conviction, I was forced out of our home. I was finally able to return only a few days ago. But when I finally did, I went to the cold storage room to check up on the sculptures. And that's when I saw it. Mr. Frost's body. It had been there the whole time. Of course. By that point, the statute of limitations had expired. So I did what I did today. Because it was the only way I could think to make things right. It seems I've misunderstood her intentions. Everything she's done really has all been for Mr. Tangro's sake. Hey, what are you thinking about, Mr. Edgeworth? Something that's been puzzling me. Why did Mass Bound use poison gas? Why not a more reliable method? And why disguise the Autumn Wing as the Winter Wing? The only reason I can think of is to confuse someone who was here 18 years ago. Yeah, I wonder what she had in mind. If she was trying to prove that Mr. Tangro was innocent, Miss Bound's ultimate goal must be to confess to her crime, find the true killer, ensure the body was found. Find the real killer. So I am curious, so who? So we know it's not Judy, we know it's not Delicia. We know it's not these two, obviously. It's none of them. It's obviously not Artie himself. So it has to be Gusto, right? Or someone came in from the outside. Could she have been trying to discover the identity of the true culprit? Miss Bound, your ultimate aim was to see Mr. Tangro cleared of all charges, correct? And to that end, you had to expose the real killer and have the police find the body from 18 years ago. Is my understanding of your intentions correct? Exhibiting the sculptures was sure to force the killer to return to the crime scene. After all, they were the only person apart from you who knew that the body was hidden in the icework. So they would have freaked out, thinking a body was about to be discovered and come running, yeah? Exactly. But Miss Bound ran the risk that the killer might successfully cover their tracks this time. In the worst-case scenario, they might even have been able to remove Mr. Frost's body from the scene. So how could she lure the true killer into revealing themselves without putting vital evidence at risk? Oh, I see what you're getting at. You're saying that's why the Autumn Wing was all winter wingy. I am. You were betting on one thing, Miss Bound, weren't you? That whoever opened the Pisces case, you had so carefully disguised as the Gemini case, would be the real perpetrator of the IS-7 incident. No. But that would mean the real killer was...
Overruled.
Enough. Not another word. You realize the implications of what you are saying, Mr. Edgeworth. Are you prepared to stand behind the accusation you are clearly about to make? Miss Bound set a trap for Mr. Frost's killer, meaning that whoever found themselves caught in that trap is highly likely to be the guilty party. But the lack of evidence to support such an accusation. To accuse someone without any evidence is not to be done lightly, so... Should I really go ahead and make my accusation and name Mr. Frost's killer nonetheless? Yes. Because Gusto clearly wanted to get in that case for some reason. My ultimate goal is to see the truth exposed. And to do that, I need to seize the moment. Yes, Judge Gavel, I'm prepared to stand behind my accusation. I know exactly who is to blame for the IS-7 incident. I mean, it's obviously Larry Butts. No, see, we're looking at this wrong. It was Artie Frost all along. Yeah, we really only got one actual option, and that is Gusto. Also, he does not look 54. I like that Ace Attorney ages are either I look way too young to be the age they state me as, or I look way too old to be the age they state me as.
Take that!
Mr. Gusto, the victim of the poison gas attack is the perpetrator behind the IS-7 incident? Gusti? Mr. Gusto. Oh, but they were lovers! I can't believe we're doing I can't believe we're doing gay murder in Pride Month. I can't believe we're doing murder in Pride Month. That's mean. Mr. Gusto. Miss Bound. As we have established, you knew that opening the gallery would lure in the real culprit. And you set up the poison gas trap in order to catch them. Do you dispute the facts thus far? You're a very impressive man, Mr. Edgeworth. Just like your father. Yeah, God, come on, Ace Attorney. You're usually so gay. Toxic boyfriends, I guess. And of course, you are absolutely right. Then perhaps you could tell us exactly what happened in your own words. Of course. I have nothing to hide anymore. So I might as well tell you everything. As you said, I set a trap here in the gallery to try and catch Mr. Frost's killer. Before we opened, I made sure that the door to the Autumn Wing was the only one that was unlocked. When opening time came, I went around to unlock all the doors of the various rooms, and found that the Autumn Wing had been locked from the inside. The killer is on the other side of that door. The thought, well, it frightened me. And then she simply walked away, leaving him to fall victim to her poison gas trap. When I heard Mr. Gusto was being treated for gas inhalation, that's when I knew he was the murderer. All that was left was for the police to find Mr. Frost's body, and then something would finally be proven innocent. At least, that was my plan. Judes, why didn't you tell me? You know I'm always here for you, right? We could have found another way. It didn't have to be like this. Thank you, Mr. Fender. You've been so kind to me all these years. But I'm the one who created this mess. Kitty, no, don't. Why do you have to stand behind the microphone on the keyboard? That's the worst place to stand. Excuse me. So it was up to me to try to clean it up. I didn't care what it took as long as I could get something out of that awful place. Judy. 18 years ago, the police managed to cover up the fact that Mr. Frost's body had gone missing. If I went to them now and said it had reappeared, I was afraid they might have tried to cover things up again. So I worked to set off a very public incident here in the gallery in front of as many witnesses as possible. I'm so sorry, Judy. You, Samson, Gregory, I let you all down. Fender, this can't be easy for him. Hi, kitty cat. No, I'm the one who should be apologizing. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, I hope one day you can forgive me. And whatever punishment I have to face, I'm ready to accept it. But please, if I may ask one thing of you, it's that you simply must clear Samson's name. Judy really is just a very tragic character. The way that the truth of these past 18 years had come to light was unexpected, to say the least. And yet, it had only set us down a path towards an even more shocking end. To be continued. Kit Kat. Okay. I've been going for an hour and a half. Think I'm gonna call it for the night. My throat is hurting, and my nose is starting to get stuffy again. Clearly, I overestimated how better I was feeling. We will come back for more Ace Attorney. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? I can stream on Thursday. Yes, tomorrow is Thursday. So we will be back for more Ace Attorney Thursday, and then we will pick... And I'm hoping I might start a little earlier tomorrow. We'll see. I might start earlier tomorrow so that we can play longer and hopefully finally finish case 3 tomorrow. Because how many fucking streams have I done for this single case? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 streams for this single case. Yeah, this is getting ridiculous. And so hopefully we'll finish it finally tomorrow, and then we can get on to case 4 for this game. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna drink a lot of water and rest my throat, and hopefully sleep off the rest of this sickness. So good.